this sudden posting was based on a moment I had a little bit ago. I was having a day off and I was trying to find a way to relax and plan out my day, and became a bit frustrated and overwhelmed trying to figure it out. And in the process of keeping myself occupied through stimming, whether it be listening to something or just keeping some attention occupied, I thought I could listen to either music or a podcast. And so I have some podcasts that are good, but I thought maybe I could find something to listen to that would be beneficial towards the way I function and the way I think. If there's anything that can help me be educated and aware, but also just keep my ears occupied and thus helping me relax a bit more and can be more productive that way. And I started I did a search for podcasts in regards to autism, and I felt a bit confused and frustrated because, while it seemed like there might be some out there that can be helpful, and I definitely look for input if there's any that any of you have come across, I found that most of them were focused at parents and doctors and caregivers, which is good. I'm all for the education of those close to us, but I worry about the main important details of these podcasts and videos and books. The important details are who's telling the story and who's it meant for, as is the main important details of any story. And I don't know if I saw many. There might have been one or two in my initial search. There might be more, but there didn't seem to be many out there that were made by those on the spectrum, and even less made for those on the spectrum. There were a lot of doctors and parents making podcasts and stories for doctors and parents. And it's good to be out there, but I felt frustrated because I wasn't sure what was out there for me to just I'm definitely going to listen to some of them, because if I see what's being told to others, then that can give me perspective, and I can come back here and share with more people, so that way we all can be more informed. But it just felt a little frustrating trying to work through that. And so I think I will spend some time looking at a couple of them, and I'll come back and comment on them. One of them involved having guests who were specialists, and some of them were talking about awareness and having a good support structure at home, which is important, but one of them involved having a guest expert from Autism Speaks, which I know is a problematic group, and I still try to find time doing research into what that group does and their representation or misrepresentation on what's important. And so, yeah, it's a little frustrating trying to find resources sometimes. And so I'll definitely do that part, but as usual, I didn't have any specific plan other than that topic coming to this video. I like to give updates every once in a while, and I guess I'd like to find a resource that can be helpful, and then I can share that with others, because one of the reasons why I made this to begin with is because I wasn't sure what could be helpful. I wasn't sure where to look and what reference to go by. There were only a couple people that I had watched or read who were on the spectrum who I felt was able to help me, and I'm very grateful for that. But it just showed that it's hard to find resources. It's hard to find people that we can relate to, and so I like to do that. And I think in the future I can cover a couple things. I know I've covered a number of things in connection to panic attacks and the way that the mind works, and so I think at some point I'd like to do something more productive and planned out to a certain extent, such as looking through anxiety management or hypersensitivity management, because there's ways that doctors and caregivers might talk about when, I'm not sure what terminology they would use, such as having a build-up, or I worry that they might use some less polite words for when someone on the spectrum has a build-up or panic attack, or so I'd like to at least share the things that help me. So that could be an idea, and I definitely welcome more, because I like to know what I can do, because this process is, at the same time that I might be sharing with others, I'm also discovering and learning about myself at the same time. So I'm happy to do it for both those reasons. And so I plan on finding ways to become more active on here. And if there's any suggestions or ideas or questions or topics, I welcome them. And I thank you for those who have taken the time to watch and review or even share. If anything's ever been helpful, I'm happy to hear about that as well. And so thank you, and I hopefully will be back with more soon.